Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat and today is Thursday, October 29th, 2020. For those of you watching the VODs on YouTube, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can, of course, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat, as well as support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. Now, the main thing you probably have noticed is that the volume has been raised a bit, a few decibels, so it should help out with people who may not have been able to hear so well the previous videos of everything that I do. And I don't know if it's going to be exactly where it needs to be, but I'm continuing to make minor, mild adjustments as best I can. So please let me know if there's like major clipping that happens. It doesn't look like there's any clipping that is happening right now, but I do have to control how loudly I speak, because if I do speak too loudly or too closely to the microphone, I will clip, and it will distort the audio. Now, next to me is also my fan, and you can probably hear the fan while I'm talking, so I will regret turning it off, but I have now turned the fan off to help out a little bit, but I am not going to be too happy because it's going to get really hot really fast in this room. In fact, I'm already quite warm. So, what has gone on over these past couple of days? Honestly, not too much. Not too much. I have played Genshin Impact. That is what I have done. In fact, a lot of what I did after the last stream was do a whole bunch of rerolls through Adventure Rank 7. And I even did a few of them yesterday and got absolute garbage the entire time. So the secondary account that I've been playing has been and continues to be the best rolled account that I've gotten. The one that I am currently playing early on got 2 Noel, 2 Ningguang, a Jingzhu, and, or however the freaking hell you pronounce his name, or Klee, and Klee, as a 5-star. So that's like the best that's happened. It was 2 Noel, 2 Ningguang, the Xingzhu, Chu, CH sound after an S. It's SH sound at the beginning and then CH sound. So Xingchu, I think is how you say that dude's name, with Klee. I've gotten Klee one other time out of like 17 rerolls ish. 16, 17 rerolls. I have a document next to me where I've kept track. I think the most unique characters I've rolled was 6, but no 5-star of that. I've gotten one account with that account that had 6 got official. Otherwise, it's mostly crap. Mostly. It's just awful. Awful the rolls that I've been getting. I got a razor once or twice. I think twice total. But, yeah. Not good. It's a good thing I have a website with hosting that lets me make an infinite number of email accounts, because you totally need the unique email accounts every account that you make for Genshin Impact right now. It's a little disturbing, and it also takes approximately half an hour for each reroll. Times about 17 times. Yeah, it's getting a little bit repetitive, and I'm getting a little bit burnt out on rerolling, so I'm just continuing on with my Klee account. My main account, my first one, mind you, has a catching and official on it, so that one has 2 S tier characters, but they came quite late in the journey, so they're not as powerful as they could be as if I'd gotten them really early. And I can see my secondary account outpacing the first quite considerably. So I just wanted to see if I could get 2 S-tier characters in the very start of the game. That's basically what I'm trying to reroll for, is multiple S-tier characters at the very start. Ideally, something like Cleefischl, or maybe a good ice character with a good electro character. Like, that would be ideal. I would totally roll with a Chongyun Fischl or Chongyun Catching build, but it hasn't happened. Anyway, we're here for Factorio. So let me get into Factorio, if the Factorio actually displays. There you are. So we left off last time needing power. I did a lot of things in here. Oh, one last thing, Genshin Impact. I did record 2 attempts. I did record 2 of my run-throughs to get to AR7, so I'm probably gonna make a video on getting to Adventure Rank 7 for like a reroll guide type of thing. I know there's plenty of reroll guides out there, but not many specifically talk about why one would reroll, what one should be looking for when they reroll, as well as show the process. So it's like usually you get one of those things. And I think that I would like to have a video that covers the whole topic. And I have 2 half-hour recordings, including all the stupid cutscenes, for that. Now, we did make a lot of progress. We made tons of progress last time. We got through the entirety of copper ore sorting, finished into copper plates, and I got the what was it? The tin and lead ore sorting set up. My beautiful tin and lead ore sorting are set up, and I have train stations for the rest of the processes. But we need power. So, yeah, power. Power is good. I like power. Let's get some power. And ideally not get hit by a train in the meantime. Now, the thing about the power, I don't have the belt throughput to feed this, which is a little annoying. This would require upgrading into red belt. And I don't have bronze to do so quite yet. That is unfortunate, to say the least. But I should, I say should, have the stuff for the things. Clearly being so very specific here. That was how many? You know, just a few, 120. And then in here, I should have a few Mark II boilers. What I'm going to do, I think I have a few mining drills. Have I done mining drills? Get rid of that. Have I done mining drill Mark IIs in here? Yes, I have. Good. Good, I need a few of those. We're going to set up a dedicated power thingy somewhere else. Maybe over here where I have my coal being produced. That sounds like a great idea. Fantastic one, even. Oops. Is that my first kill? Yes, ish. I've apparently lost 2 small poles, first medium. Or 1 medium, 2 smalls. We're gonna get there, eventually. We're gonna have all the things be dead. I would imagine. As time goes on. Thanks to very poor driving skills. Alright, let me give some thought as to the things I really need here. Probably could have done with additional underground belts, but we shall see. Also, what is my mining productivity right now? 0? I'm going to assume 0. Maybe 10. What is it? It is 0. No, none? Really? Mining productivity. Yeah, I just haven't taken mining productivity yet. Alright, well there's a tech to take. Yeah, see, I really could have used the extra undergrounds, but no matter. We're gonna plop this down right next door, using 20 of our underground belts, and go on from here. This is going to be used to directly feed into power. There we go. There's a couple of yellow belts, I hope. Bottleneck bod, by the way, was updated. So now Bottleneck actually is displaying, again, the icons on the mining drills, even though it's sort of redundant thanks to the little lights on the mining drills. Just so's we're all aware about that. Also, there was something with Helmod getting updated. Oh god, that's ugly. What? Well, that's different. So, yeah. They fixed the little issue of the missing icon on the active tab. That's something that got fixed. But they also completely overhauled the UI. The drawing of the UI, apparently. This is completely different in its aesthetic. Everything's still in the same place, it's just darker background here. It looks a little weird. Also, what is this little icon on the top right? I don't know. I do not understand. There's new things. New stuff. New stuff. Apparently there were adjustments to like how it handles Steam and Steam buildings, Steam powered buildings and things like that. But yeah. Not exactly relevant in an Angels playthrough, I don't think. Not as much, anyway. Let's see, I need the boilers. Okay, I'm going to essentially just copy-paste a line, this line. Yeah, I will copy this segment. I'll make a small adjustment to it, and then I'll paste again. There is a very, very small adjustment I need to make to this. And that is the positioning of you by 1 tile. Oh yeah, do I have enough power poles? I don't think I do. So I'd like to mention that a few days ago, couple days ago, someone made a comment on the Train Supply Manager video, claiming to be constructive criticism, but it did come off as a bit not like that. It definitely came off as rude, very rude, despite saying that it's constructive criticism. I mean, you've probably seen those types of comments before, but there were some valid points made. Some, in particular, it was about, and the person deleted the comment like within minutes of posting it, but I still got an email with its contents, so I still saw that comment that was made, even though it was almost immediately deleted. Which, you know, that's just the life of being a YouTuber, I guess. You're gonna, or making any content whatsoever, you're gonna get people complaining in various ways. Uh, this person did not like how I talk. Which, I mean, that's valid. The actual mechanics of how I talk. Just to keep in mind, though, a few things. Most people don't really have any conscious control over how they speak, and the way that I speak is that I try to think before I say something. You know, like we're taught to do. Think before you speak. But oftentimes, that often means that I have these longer pauses in between my thoughts and during sentences. And yes, that can be annoying for some people. I do understand that. It's just that's not something I have a conscious control over as much. And then there is another complicating factor, and for those who may have noticed, may have suspected, but I myself definitely know or have my own suspicions of this. I do exhibit some symptoms of autism spectrum disorder. You may have noticed. It is not lost on me, uh, the, the concept that I may have some degree of autism spectrum disorder as an undiagnosed condition. So let's keep this in mind, that a lot of my personality can be at least somewhat explained by that alone. And that every bit of normalcy that I have has been taught in some way. It's a conscious thing that I have done to make it seem like I am closer to normal. Because, my god, if I didn't have any training whatsoever to even seem normal over the course of my life, I would not be in a good place at all right now. I don't have the characteristic problems of like not being able to recognize expressions and things like that in other people. That is not the issue. The issues I have tend to be in how I express myself, as well as a few other minor things. But in particular, the main thing here is my own expression of my thoughts and how I sound and my own tone. I know I come across as very condescending, even though I'm not trying to be condescending. That's just how I sound. That's just how I speak. That's always been how I've spoken. It is not something I actively think about because my brain is not thinking about how I sound. My brain is thinking about what I'm trying to say. There's a very key distinction there. My brain is analytical and it doesn't care about any socially acceptable stuff. It's just trying to present information, and it doesn't think about how others might interpret how I'm saying the information. But anyway, beyond that, let's enjoy Factorio. Or what it is. You know, one of the reasons I like Factorio, I have a very analytical mind. That should take care of our power issue for the moment. I do get that this setup here has the exact same problem as my current setup, in that the yellow belt throughput is not enough for level 2 boilers and steam engines. but that won't be a problem for a little while again. And hopefully by the time it does become a problem, I will have access to red belts. So anyway, there's also a lot of, like, verbal things that I have. The statements that at the beginning of sentences mean nothing. Like, anyways, as I'm trying to change a topic, that's okay, but there are other times where I'm like, alright, and just trying to fill the void. A lot of things I say try to just fill the void while I'm trying to think of the next thing to say, because one of the main pieces of advice for streaming is don't stop talking as much as possible. There's room for pauses, but think of it as if you're presenting a podcast, or if you are listening to a podcast, would you like to hear silence for minutes at a time while trying to listen to a podcast? Hell no! That's never going to be acceptable. And when a lot of people for video gaming content are literally playing the game on the separate screen and you have your stream up but minimized and are exclusively listening to you, it's jarring if the streamer just stops talking for several minutes, because then you're like, well, what's going on? Has my stream stopped working for some reason? Like, huh? No, just you can't stop talking, and one of the mechanisms around that is to use a lot of filler words while trying to think about the next thing to say. But I will attempt to work on that. Try to make more comprehensible thoughts and use less of those filler words. Also, slowing down my speech pattern a little bit to A, give myself more time to think about the next things that I'm about to say, as well as to help reduce the pauses between my thoughts. If I talk slowly, ideally it will be more consistent in the execution there. Not ever going to stop with the pauses between the phrases, but anyway, let's get moving here. Now that I have additional power and that emergency situation is rectified, it is time to continue with the processing of the tin and lead. In particular, the solder is going to be before the bronze, I think, and then I want to scale catalysts, mineral catalysts. That is the main thing I want to end up doing, even before doing the bronze casting. And to do that, I want to have a separate slag factory. So there's our order of business for the day. Today we're going to do the tin and lead processing pretty much at the exact same time. I know they're listed separate entries here in the to-do list, but I have all of those train stations already set up, ready to go. It's just basically the same build twice with the different recipes assigned for tin versus lead. And once that is sorted, going into the strand casted solder for the solder coils, and getting those provided onto the network, and then into the slag factory, which is just going to be a massive array of electrolyzers using up a lot of the power that I just added onto my base. Let's get going. I am going to need, / I have a lot of stuff already. Am I just doing the ore right now? Yes. I am just doing the ore right now. Say hello to tin, which, to my mind, after playing a lot with the Realistic Ores mod, looks a lot like copper with Realistic Ores mod installed. This shade of green is very similar. I can sort of tell the difference between the two shades, between the Realistic Ores copper and this tin, but it's super close. And then, of course, the lead is just the black, silver-y-ish color that one would expect of the, like, galena lead color. So let's get going. It's a little dark, I think, but sure, we'll go with it. Where did I park? Way up there. Of course I did. I need to make sure that I have blast furnaces, enough blast furnaces. I think 16 is enough. Right, lead is problematic because lead, as we found out last time, has this extra step here. And I need carbon for it. And a pretty good supply of oxygen, too. So I need to pick up some additional infrastructure to make sure that I can build out that oxygen as well as get carbon. I am going to do carbon in a separate factory, and I suppose that that will have to be the first thing I do. I could just go through tin and then go through carbon into lead, but I just want to get the carbon over with right now, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, the carbon needs steam. Am I carrying any electric boilers on me? I am not. In fact, what I want to do is get rid of the steam engines and regular boilers. Oh, I am. I am carrying around 9 electric boilers. I want a few more. Where am I making those? All the way over there. Let's go ahead and grab a few of these electric boilers. The reason why I need electric boilers is because carbon converts coke to carbon by adding steam in liquefiers. Ideally, in liquefiers. Now, I do have this sodium hydroxide nitrogen recipe. Can I convert sodium carbonate back to hydroxide? I can't. I could. If this was actually crafted in anything, I think this might be an actual craft time issue, but I would like to do this if I had sodium processing. Like, that would be great because, or just use it for the glass, because what I could do is upgrade to this coke purification process for carbon. Oh, charcoal oxygen? Now there's an option to save me from spending coke for carbon. Huh. The question is how much space that would use. Hellmod. I need you to tell me which is better on the production of carbon. Let's take a look at charcoal here. Charcoal, say I want 15. That is... Those wood pellets don't have a fuel value, do they? Yes, they do. Alright, so it will use those pellets by default on the steel metal mixing furnace until I get into the electric furnaces. That's going to be a lot of fiber. And if the fiber is out of wood, that's 1-to-1 without productivity. Like, that's reasonable, right? As long as you can do it. Here, let's, because sometimes you're not actually able to do some things. Yeah, you can totally. Totally, totally. And you, yeah, out of the wood pellets. Why would I not do that? That is a dedicated build. Like, self-contained build for carbon. It needs iron or wood for those saws. Where's the seedling recipe? Huh? No, I need... Ah, it was... There was only one. It was automatically placed. There we go. Now, I need the matrix solver because I would need the, yeah, 1668 for this. That would be in these machines. I mean, this doesn't look bad, does it? A, a quarter of an iron plate per second to get 15 carbon. This build is big in that it's 64 greenhouses. I don't even think I don't make those right now. Oh, it still had that issue of the missing icon. Great. I would have thought that would have been fixed, but it wasn't. If I go back and search for carbon, we do have the option of making carbon out of coke and steam. If I want 15, I would need 10 coke, which would be a few things. This needs to be that crushed. 5 coal for 15 carbon. So, frankly, this versus this. Now I can go in and be like, okay, well, steam needs to be made from something in a boiler. Not even this boiler. Where's electric boiler? It's not this recipe, is it? It's that. That is the electric boiler. So 4 electric boilers, 150 steam. There you go. That is only requiring 5 coal for the 15 carbon. Yeah, I'm building this. I do like that the other one is a nice little self-contained build out of wood. Just bring in the iron, little trace amount of iron, but because you still need that input of something, and because it's such a big build, I think the coal is gonna be the way to go in the end. So let's go ahead and pin that. It's always good to do these little exercises from time to time, taking a look at the comparisons like that. Question, of course, as always, is where are we going to build this? And I absolutely need more rail in order to do this. Gib rail. Now, how many signals do I have? 0 chain outside of the 39 in my inventory. I'm gonna sneeze. Wonderful. Chain signals. I need all of you. Every last one. Fill up the vehicle with chain signals. I think that's about it for now. Oh hey, I've got, like, other buildings in here. Neat. I didn't realize. These can just go away. Why have my bots not taken stuff from me? There you go. Okay. Carbon factory. Would ideally be near a source of either coal, or I can bring in the coke to process. Hello? Hello? The dolly says hello. She's saying hi. Yes, my baby girl. That's a pretty girl. Huh? That's my pretty dolly. My pretty dolly. I think I've mentioned the other day that she had gotten a piece of heavy-duty packing tape, a little square of heavy-duty packing tape attached to her front paw, to the floof between her toes. And I had to get it off of the floof between her toes. It was stuck. And I had to do that, like, by myself, just holding her in one arm. And trying to pull the thing out of her hair. That was fun. She was okay with it. She loved me for removing that. Still does, I'm pretty sure. Spent her day with me that day. Alright, if I'm going to bring in the... Okay. If I'm going to bring in the coke by train, I don't really have to think about making the coke at all. Oh hey, I've got productivity. Huzzah! Huzzah! Productivity. It's stuff. I don't know. What do I want? Like what do I need? I don't know. Like what do I need? Crystal splinter processing. Huh. That'll be part of like modules. Yeah. Wonderful. Something new to figure out. That is so many... Excuse me? Dolly. Apparently Ollie's also here. Like, did I just hear my green screen get ripped to shreds? I don't know. That would not be good. That would not be good. Okay, I need train station. Let me expand. Expansion time! We're gonna put this, like, right over here on the other side of this Jivalite. There. Or do I just do a T, like, here? That is exactly what I'm gonna go with. This does not need that station. Just needs one in and one out. Because we are powering through electric boilers. What are they doing to the office chair behind me? They're destroying the office chair behind me. These kittens. I liked that office chair, but it's not big enough to hold the kittens with me. Way too small for the big ol' Ollie to lay down on the back of the chair. Despite being a chair built for big and tall people. Which I used to be quite big. Quite big, and I needed a chair that could support my weight. at the time. This particular chair is also built for big and tall, but is a bit nicer, actually. This particular chair I'm sitting in is a Serta chair, as in the mattress maker. Yes. Actually, I think this will be a full-on four-way with the loop. With the loop! Gotta have the loop so the trains can do U-turns out of the station to get back into the station because they're dumb. Alright, this will be supplying carbon. This will be our coke at carbon. And we'll bring in coke, wherever that lives. There you go. And this little thing is just 7 of the liquefiers. I don't need to use liquefiers, I'm pretty sure. I could also use the full-on chem plants for this. The main difference between the two is liquefiers have a base crafting speed 1.5 versus 1.75. Why would I ever? I guess liquefiers are a cheaper thing to build? Maybe? They are half the power. More than half the power. That is a reason. That is a pretty good reason. They use less than half the power. Or more than... however the heck you say that. It's 129 versus 258. Yeah, that's a big difference. And while I need 7 of these... for 15... I would need 6 of these, so I'm pretty sure that 6 times 258 is a heck of a lot higher than 7 times 129. So we're gonna go with that. I do need an input and an output. Oh, boy. And therein lies the problem. There is a way to arrange this so that I don't have to use long-handed inserters at all. And that is to arrange it in a very similar way to arranging the regular assembling machines that have an input on them. And that is to do something along these lines. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I need a 7. Right there. Let's do this in the middle of each of these. And I will use loaders to unload. So each one is going to need 1.5 in. Can a sink? No. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no. Even at stack size 2? I'm not certain. Let's get all of this set up on this output. Definitely know that it cannot do... I'm pretty sure it can't do 2.25. Pretty sure it is less than 1 normally without the 2. But it does double with the 2, so maybe it can swing the 1.5. I'll find out pretty quick. That's for certain. Alright, 4 electric boilers. Just add water. And power, of course. That will do. Ta-da! Let's get our coke in. And then the carbon out. And there's the carbon flowing freely. Let's go ahead and limit to like 2 on each. And then add in some fuel. Oh hey, I've got a little bit of fuel right here for this train. Now, I do need to rename these guys. Depot Carbon 1. Carbon. Supply, depot, full cargo, and circuit condition. Ta-da! Carbon 1, and we are finished with carbon. Just in time for a tech to finish. At this point, I am taking techs for the sake of taking techs. There is no other reason at this point. I don't have much reason to do anything right now. Movement speed would be nice, I suppose. So with the mining speed and the reach and all of that good stuff, and handcrafting speed, but we'll be fine going forward. Well, that is carbon. All finished for the moment. Because it's not a self-contained system making that carbon, I do need to make sure that I continue scaling my coke as time goes on. Last thing I need is to overuse the carbon and not have enough coke for anything. I should have the infrastructure on me to continue with my builds for tin now. Let us take care of that as I have to move my phone to its correct position under my right leg so that when the alarm goes off, I know that it goes off. Let's see. Oh, I suppose I could use more belt in the meantime. Let's go get some more belt and some more undergrounds. Beautiful and glorious undergrounds. Hopefully not getting hit by trains along the way. So, right up here, in the belt-based mall, is the belt-based bus, is my beautiful belt. The beautifulest of beautiful belt. Do I need anything else in particular? No. At least I don't think so. Maybe a few more power poles, but I think I have that sorted now. Cool. Let's go, vehicle. Must have more coffee. Okay, tin is on the southern side, so I will take care of the tin. And I was planning on taking care of the tin first, so we're just gonna keep on going right down. And over here. Welcome to tin processing. This will look pretty much identical to every other thing. That is processing the stuffs and the things. Tin in particular must use coke, so I will need to have that infrastructure. Let's go ahead and pin this. I will go up to iron if it's displayed for me here. I will take this whole thing. Yes, this entire build. Is it on the correct side? No, it is not. Of course it is not. Why would it be on the correct side? Hey, copper. You're also on the wrong side. Hmm. Okay. Okay, I can adjust. I can adjust. It needs to be here. On this side. This... Yeah. Hmm. I'll just route the belt differently. So we're gonna go... Our carbon at... Carbon? Coke. At tin ingots 1. Hello, Dolly. Welcome back. Welcome back, Dolly. My Dolly. Yes, pretty girl. Pretty girl. Art in 4 at tin ingots 1. Supply tin ingots 1. Your tail is tickling my hand. Oh, off she goes. She's hunting. Up here. D tin ingots 1. Copied across the thing. Alright, let's get all of this placed down. So this is the final output. It needs to go all the way up and then over. Noises from kitten running around. Jumping, climbing, destroying my chairs. And my green screen. Oh boy. Let's see here. This is the Coke. Streaming on what? Friday? What? Did... Huh? No. This is Thursday. This is Thursday. I'm not streaming Friday. But hello, Ave. Welcome. Yes, today is Thursday. Today is not Friday. I know it feels like Friday. It feels like it's not the day that it's supposed to be, but no, today is Thursday. Thursday, October 29th, 2020. Ha. Yep. It's great. It's a great day. Great day for more Factorio. Oh. Do you hear the cat destroying everything behind me? Hello. Hello. There's a kitten back there. You probably there's a yes. There's a kitten. There's a kitten right there. You see oh, there's the other kitten. Hi. Hello. Yes, you're playful. Yeah. There's Dolly making noises, biting at me. Literally just on the other side of the green screen, I've got my other office chair that the kittens are destroying, as they do. Oh, these kittens. Alright. That is not the spot for you. This is there. They're having a good time. Fighting each other. Playing and chasing and clawing everything. Alright, let's change these recipes over to 10. And actually get these requests going. Yeah, it's two cats. What else should they be doing? Yes, besides fighting and playing. Let's see here. I need the Coke on this one. So all you've missed thus far today, Ave, is that I have set up a carbon factory and additional power in the base, because we had a little bit of a problem. Just a little bit of a problem with the amount of everything. So I set up this for additional power. So no longer having any power issues, and then I have set up this for carbon. Wonderful carbon. Yeah. Carbon out of Coke, because I took the time to compare this carbon versus this carbon. This carbon is fully renewable, set it, forget it-ish, as long as you have the iron for the saw blades, you're good. So this is like a quarter of an iron into 15 carbon out of wood. Honestly, not worth it. This one is the 5 coal into 15 carbon. What is carbon needed for? Carbon is needed to do the lead processing that I'm about to do, like, next. Carbon is needed for the lead ingots step. Ta-da! You also missed a discussion that I had about how someone had made a comment on the train supply manager video that they promptly deleted, but I still got the email with the full comment on it, talking about how they didn't like how I sounded, that they were leaving quote-unquote constructive feedback to look up information on how to deliver for making video content, how to speak for making video content, because I don't sound good to them, apparently. Which got me into a discussion about how, yeah, that's not exactly an easy thing to change, how one speaks. And the other part of that, yes, I do understand. I sound very condescending to many people. That is not the intention. Hello. Hi. That tail's flicking. Hello. Doo doo. Doo doo doo. That tail's flicking. Ah. Yeah. So it's partially like language thing. So that's number one. Yes, that tail is flicking. That tail. Yes, you wanna go on the bookcase? You could actually go there now. I don't have anything up there anymore. There she goes. Yeah, so they were commenting about how, oh, you should be making these changes, attract more people, etc., etc., but that it's problematic because A, it's really hard to change how one speaks, but there are some things that I can learn and adjust to do, and one of those is just slow down the pace of my speech. That is something I can do to help to alleviate some of the pauses in my speech. But when it comes to sounding robotic, sounding condescending when I'm not trying to be condescending, that has more to do with me potentially having, at least showing symptoms of being of having an autistic spectrum disorder than it is something I have much control over, right? Because if you haven't been paying attention, if you've been watching me for a long time, you may be suspecting that there is something a little bit different about me. I've seen it too. I do realize this, but and yes, after the research I have done, it does appear as if I show some symptoms of having an autism spectrum disorder. And it does manifest in this way in how I talk. That is the main way it manifests, is in how I express myself. Not so much my interpretation of others. I don't have as much of a problem. I don't want to say I'm 100%. I know everything that people are trying to express to me, but it's a much bigger problem in how I express myself. As I drink more coffee. And yeah, it's like the signs are there. There's more than what you see here. I disagree. Just a little bit. Huh. Yeah. How about that, see? How old are Angels and Bobs? Like, what was the timing on when the Factorio developers added in the name list stuff to this? Like, did Angels and Bobs exist before addition, like the addition to the name list of the basic stations, or is this something that was added in buy Bob's Angels somewhere. This name. Angel and Bob's is hard. I disagree with that a little bit. Just a little bit. This is S lead 1. Lead ingots 1. And I went over here and I didn't even add the locomotive, did I, to the tin. I just find it interesting that a reference to mods, overhaul mods, exists in the name lists for names of train stations. I am a little amused by that. Just slightly amused. Anyway, I need some fuel for this locomotive. You're gonna have just a couple stacks, not that many stacks in you at a time. Supply depot, full cargo, circuit condition, and you're off. Crawler locomotive is an Angels. Yes. It's part of Angels specifically. I have the crawler train as a separate individual add-on, but there is a combined add-on that adds in all of the Angels trains. So when you're searching for all of Angels mods in the big lists of mods, try to get the one that's the full combined, otherwise you have like 3 separate mods for just trains. There's also a combined storage mod that combines the silos, warehouses, and jacks tanks that you should also look at having. Because I first installed a lot of Angels mods before those existed, that's why I'm still using them, is because I didn't even know that they existed, these combined mods, when I set up this save. Please do not get hit by train. There we go. So those are there. They exist, these combined mods. Okay, next, I will copy this and paste this wholesale after changing it a little bit to not grab the station names off of it. And this will need to be modified slightly. This will need to be a little bit modified because I need to have an extra step. Yeah, be careful trying to force space exploration to work without robot attrition, because there is some sort of a compatibility thing. Robot attrition's functionality is built into, like, it's expected there. That is an actual dependency for space exploration, unless it's been updated to allow you to not have it on there. There's a one-line change within robot attrition. Okay, that should be fine. So as long as you have it, so that it can reference what it needs to reference within space exploration, that would be good. Should work out just fine. I have other issues though, complaints regarding space exploration beyond just the robot attrition. Let's see, so it's this as the first step. Oh, right. So I need to copy the... I need to, like, really adjust this. Okay. That will go there as a step 1. This needs to die. I need to grab this from the copper. Where's copper? Here. I need to grab this from the copper. There we go. Wait, why are those backwards? Because I pasted it backwards, that's why. Duh. Oh, hey, I'm out of inserters. I am completely out of inserters. Yeah, so honestly, just continuing on that topic from before about my own suspicions about having some degree of an autism spectrum disorder. There are a lot of aspects of my personality that can very neatly be attributed to that. Just lots of little quirks to my overall personality that it just would make sense in that light. Now, I don't want to use it as an excuse for some of the stuff, or even a lot of the stuff. I am an individual person with individual tastes and all of that, but still, it through that lens, making some degree of sense to me. And yes, there are people who enjoy the analytical take on things, taking that step away from a lot of the more emotional side of things and just having a look at raw values, numbers, having a look at lo- logic behind stuff. Being able, I have a very, very, very strong ability to understand logical systems. That is my skill that I have. I can see I can see patterns, thing like facts simply make sense to me. Facts simply make sense to me. Like I've always been really good at science in particular and not that good at humanities. So says the guy whose 12th grade English teacher said said that I was a future humanities guy. I will never forget the set of 12th grade senior year parent teacher conferences where we had my science teachers telling my mother that I was a future scientist and my English professor saying that I was a future humanitarian, humanities guy. I'll never forget that. Ah, but that took a lot of work, right? Getting getting good grades in English courses was a lot harder than getting good grades in the science courses. It was a lot more work to learn and adjust to be that way, to get writing down in that manner. I still have a very quote unquote interesting writing style. It is interesting. I write how I speak, which you can sort of understand some of the issues that might bring along with it. Why am I here in the mall? I came here for something. I came here for inserters. That's what I have come here for. I completely forgot on the way. I'm here for these wonderful things. All right. Yes, I had an inherent understanding of science and how systems, logical systems work, but not so much the English humanities side. That took some work. That took some work. In elementary school, I had managed to get every other course into A's and B's except for English. English was a C plus when I graduated 5th grade to go into middle school. And it took a lot of work in middle school before I finally, that that third quarter of 8th grade, I finally hit straight A's for the first time ever. And I was like, yes. That was a feel good moment. The first time I would get straight A's in all subjects, including the English. That was like, what? Wow. That was a wow moment for me. And even in high school, I didn't get that many set of straight A's. I took very difficult classes, generally. But I think I did it twice-ish in high school. Two times, I think, ever, for the straight A's. I was never truly a straight A student. I did graduate valedictorian from high school. I was number one, and I very rarely got straight A's. Why? Because I got a lot of boosts to my GPA because of the difficulty of the courses that I took. I took college level courses, advanced placement courses, that at my school happened to incorporate just flat boosts to GPA. What is valedictorian? It is the top of class, highest grade point average in the class for my graduating class. Valedictorian is number 1. Salutatorian is number 2. And I came out as valedictorian just because of the classes that I took, offering flat boosts to GPA. I think it was that they counted a grade higher of whatever grade you get. It counted 1 point higher. So, yeah, things. Despite that, I never felt like I had actually, and I still don't feel like I actually earned that placement as first. I never explicitly tried to be first, which annoys me a little bit. It's like, how did this happen? I still don't fully grasp how it happened. It just happened. It's just how the dice rolled. Are lead or at lead ingots 1? Are carbon at lead ingots 1? And then that's supply lead ingots 1. Now this splits here on the carbon. Now one thing I did not do by choice was give a graduation speech. I did not do that because I did not like the process in which the my school did the graduation speech. They turned it into a competition. Can you believe that? They took the top 5 of the class and told all 5 to write a speech, and that they would pick the best ones to give the speech. Like, what? The tradition is that the first in the class gives a speech at at graduation. Yeah, that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be top of class, and second, usually the top. It's top two, right? If you're gonna have two class members give speeches, it's number one and number two. And yeah. Now usually, the ones who give the speech are the number one and number two, because they're the number one and number two for a reason, and they can write the best speeches. But I did not agree with it even having a semblance of being a competition. So I dropped out of that pretty quick. So did, by the way, the number 4 and 5. They also decided not to take part in this competition, so as it turned out for my graduating year, the number 2 and the number 3, the two people who actually wanted to give the speeches, gave the speeches. So, yeah, that was a thing. That was a great experience. You know, I was still on stage at the graduation ceremony. I was the first person to get the diploma announced as the valedictorian top of class, etc., etc. It's just I didn't give a speech. That was the only thing. And that was by choice, because I could not support a system that had turned what should be a tradition into a competition, into a semblance of a competition. Because for those who don't know, I'm not really big on competition. I don't really like competition at all. Just as an aspect of me, I'm not too into that as an idea. I feel that humanity should be working cooperatively, not competitively, towards the bigger issues that we have in our lives. Right? One would hope, but no. Instead we spend so many hours of our lives cheering on sports teams. Competition can be good in certain respects. Not in that very specific respect, though. Like, you can use competition to improve the quality of goods and services. I understand this. I have a hard time comprehending what's so great about proving you've got better muscles than others, or being skilled at a game. A physical game. Like, I don't see it. I don't see it. Not in that way. I think we spend too much time focused on that side of things than on the side of things where it does matter. Like the whole SpaceX versus Blue Origin versus the other sort of Boeing, those private companies doing space exploration stuff. Yeah? That's where it's good. And Tesla coming in and disrupting the market to get more electric cars produced by all of the companies. Like, that's where competition shines. Not so much the sports side of things. Like, I'd rather we focus on that other type of competition than on the sports side of things so much. Anyway, I need to finish this, because we're like 3 minutes from the break. I think it's... Let's get rid of this production block, shall we? Because we're not actually working on that right now. We're working on this right now. It is 4 and 4. That is the correct thingy. This needs to be a tile down. Ah, boy. And this doesn't even connect to that. Alright, then I can actually copy from here all of that. There we go. You need oxygen. Of course, oxygen must be maintained. How much oxygen? 112. Wow. 112 and a half. So, 112.5. How many doohickeys do I need for that? You there. Give oxygen. If I want 112, that would be 262. Oh boy. That is a few. That should be fine, right? 7? 7 should be good. Yeah, I'm not into any competitive sports at all. I'm not a follower of any competitive sport. I just... There's better uses of my time. Like, that's one thing that I value among all other things is my time. Time is number one for me. And it feels a lot like those competitive games are just not worth my time to follow them or any of that. And that's my alarm going off. Hey, it is the halfway point as I'm about to wrap up this production here. Yes, you can dismiss now, thanks. Thank you for letting me know, alarm, that it is the halfway point. All I really need to do is just get this oxygen flowing, really. That's where we will take our break, is getting the oxiest of gen. And watch it flow! Huh. Let you know if I'm willing to discuss some Factorio 2 things in this stream. Well, yeah, about Factorio. We've got work to do on scaling of circuits. Circuit scaling is on my agenda right now. This is a lot of throughput. Whoa, okay, that is a few things. That is a lot of stuff. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, lots of stuff. Does this get used for anything, this lead oxide? This... Why are there duplicate entries? Just the ingots. Good. Good. Alright. With that, folks, it is time to take a break. If you're watching the VODs on YouTube, thank you so very much for watching. I will see you all on the next one. Do all the social stuff down below. For those watching live, I will be back in a few minutes to continue with our lead and tin processing and getting induced solder. I will be back shortly.